Hi, my name is JJ Behrens, and I'm a developer advocate at Google, and I'm here today to talk to you about using YouTube for your business. So, YouTube for your business. I want to answer a few questions. First of all, why YouTube? And then I want to help you guys get into the right state of mind. I'm going to show some less technical examples and then some more technical examples, and all along the way, I want to show you guys how do you do that. And then finally, since Google I/O is right around the corner, I want to talk about what's coming up next. So first of all, why YouTube? So think about the number of views YouTube gets per day. It's actually 4 billion views per day. Next, think about the number of mobile views that YouTube gets per day. You know, people watching YouTube on their cell phone. It's 600 million views per day, and that's actually up 3 times since a year ago. Think about the number of video uploaded to YouTube every single minute. It turns out that 60 hours worth of content is uploaded to YouTube every minute. You might wonder how we scan for porn. Well, actually, we hire interns, and we have a large room with monitors all the way around them, and we play all of that content at the same time, and the intern, if he sees something bad, he just points it out. Not really. So think about the percentage of views coming from outside the US. It's actually 70%. So YouTube is actually a global phenomenon. So now let me help you guys get into the right state of mind.
Yeah! Now I'm in the blogosphere, now I'm in the Twitterverse. Fans get so immersed, but I'm a nerd forever. I'm the new Zuckerberg, and since my website, I've been cooking dough like a chef serving kilobytes. Used to be the basement, back at my mom's place. Building web traffic so that we could sell an ad space. Make way for the one-man businesses. Bailouts finish with white-collar criminals. New Sega Genesis, entrepreneur. Time making big plans to dominate the online. Yeah, I'm on YouTube. This is one man sharing Google revenue with songs on my webcam. Science is the new art, databases day-to-day. Geeks spreading sheet smarts, hustle, make the data pay. I could be in Valleywag plus geekology. Tell from my avatar that I'm most definitely muted.
So you might be wondering, what the heck did I just do? I mean, I'm showing you guys this video. So actually, that's an ad. And if you look at the metadata, there's a link to grasshopper.com. So the interesting thing about this ad is that it targets the right audience. Back when I was a startup guy, you know, I was in the market for a VoIP solution, and that video gets people like me excited, and it reaches people like me. And so the core take-home message is, be clever. YouTube is a great place to advertise. So I have another example from Original Skateboards. So Original Skateboards spent a lot of money on traditional social media, but they found out that using YouTube to connect to their community actually worked out better. The way it works is this. You create some good videos, and then you put them out there, and you let people watch them. And then when the users comment on them, you interact with them. So Original Skateboards found that by creating a community and interacting with their community, they were actually able to sell skateboards much more effectively than just dumping a bunch of money on ads on other social media sites. So the take-home message here is create interesting content and then use YouTube to connect with your customers. Okay, now I want to talk about educating and motivating. Salesforce.com actually has a lot of videos on YouTube. In fact, they have 3,000 videos. 14,000 subscribers and 8.5 million views in total. That's roughly equivalent to 35 hyper-efficient sales reps on the phone, according to the Senior Director of Social Market Strategy at Salesforce.com. YouTube videos aren't just for YouTube.com. You could also embed them on your own website, and this is a great way to enrich your website. Using a YouTube embed, you could explain your product, and it's actually really easy. So here we have an iframe tag, and this is normal HTML. We have the source for the YouTube video, and if you take this little chunk of code and you embed this into your HTML page, it's a great way to bring some life to your page. When Google Plus first came out, I was checking it out, and I'll have to admit I'm a little bit of a social media noob. You know, things never perfectly make sense to me, but when Google Plus actually had videos, and so I sat there and I watched every one of those videos, and a lot of people like me learn best when they're watching things. And so after I watched those videos, I thought, wow, you know, this really makes sense to me. It's intuitive at this point. And so I think that the take-home message is if you use videos on your own site, you can really help the user understand what you're trying to convey much quicker. So next, let me talk about user-contributed videos. Instead of just letting users watch your videos, you could also let them upload videos to your site. This is a great way to drive community engagement. Best of all, we have an open source project called YouTube Direct that makes this really easy. YouTube Direct is a platform for user-generated content. It's open source, it's built on Google App Engine using the YouTube APIs, and it supports both web and mobile. YouTube Direct has been used by a number of news agencies such as the New York Times, the Washington Post, the San Francisco Chronicle, and so forth. POV, documentaries with a point of view, used YouTube Direct to solicit video uploads of adoption stories. So imagine this, you have a website and they want to solicit user-generated videos. So you use YouTube Direct and users can interact with your website by uploading stories about themselves. This is a great way to increase the richness of your site. So YouTube Direct also has an Android and an iPhone application. This is great because it allows users to upload videos to your site from their mobile phones. Let's get a little bit more technical. You could control the player using either JavaScript or ActionScript, and there's even a Chromeless version of the player that lets you completely take control over the viewing experience. Let me show you an example. Gaia Online integrated with the Chromeless Player in order to create a custom viewing experience. Video DJs, or VJs, are able to curate videos for other users to watch, and users can watch those videos from the comfort of their own home synchronously on separate computers. Now, let me show you an example of using the JavaScript API. The goal here is to play a video for 6 seconds. We have a script tag here that's part of an overall HTML page. Here, we create a new player called Player1, where we handle 2 events, the onReady event and the onStateChange event. When the player is ready, we start playing the video. When we have a player state change, such as when the video starts playing, we set a timeout that will be called later. When that timeout is called, the stop player function gets called, and we stop playing the video. Now, let me talk about the backend APIs for YouTube, the GData APIs. Using the GData APIs, you could upload videos, search for videos, rate a video, like or dislike. You could comment on a video, add a playlist, retrieve an activity feed, retrieve video analytics, order a beer, only if you have the special license key for that one, and more. Best of all, using OAuth 2, you could do all of these things with a user's account. Now, let me show you an example of using Storify. When you use Storify, you try to tell a story using different social media. In this case, the story is, can Twitter save a dying language? We see here various blog posts and images, as well as a tweet. And then finally, most interestingly, we see a YouTube video. Interspersed is a bunch of text. So the nice thing is, you don't have to try to tell a story just using one form of social media, but instead you could mix and match. Next, let me show you another application, Memolane. Memolane is a curation app for your digital memories. Like Storify, it integrates multiple data sources such as Twitter, Google Maps, and YouTube. Memolane takes multiple data sources and overlays them on a single timeline. Here we are looking at Eric's digital memories. We see images, a tweet, Google Maps, and a YouTube video. Best of all, these are all overlaid on a single timeline, so even though we have multiple data sources, they come together in a cohesive way. Now, let's get a little bit more technical. I want to talk about Google Data APIs. We make use of a range of Rust-based protocols such as Atom, JSON, JSON-C, and RSS. We have several standard feeds such as top rated, most viewed, etc. You could download users' playlists, subscriptions, and upload feeds, as well as users' comments, his profile, etc. And if you don't want to have to parse XML directly, we also have client libraries for Java, PHP, .NET, Python, Objective-C, and so forth. Now let me show you an example feed, the top-rated videos. We have a URL here, gdata.youtube.com/feeds/API/standardfeeds/top-rated, and we want to turn on pretty printing. When you hit this URL with a browser, you'll get an Atom feedback. So this is XML, of course. Here is a feed tag. We have an entry for the video, and each video has its own entry. Here's a video ID, the URL, and a thumbnail. Using all of these, you could put together a custom application using the GData API that shows the top-rated videos. Now, if you don't look forward to parsing XML by hand, we also have several client libraries. Here, let me show you the Java client library. Here is an example of using the Java client library. Here, we create a new YouTube service, and we pass in our developer key. Here we create a video feed, and we can pass whatever video feed URL we'd like. Here we print the video feed out, and we loop over all of the video entries. The sample applications that come with the GData API have a full rundown of how to do this. Next, let me talk about another application, the History of Jazz. The History of Jazz is an iPad application. They call it a coffee table application because it's so beautiful, you want to just put it on your coffee table and let users pick it up and play with it. What's interesting is that this application teaches people about the history of jazz. It's got beautiful pictures and music, and it's a very immersive experience. What's interesting about this application is that they have monetized it very well. First of all, you have to buy the application. And second of all, they have iTunes integration. So if you like any of the music that you're listening to while using the application, you could buy the music. Now, let's not forget about video games. Video games could play videos. They could upload video game plays to YouTube, and you could even use them to create machinima. Let me show you an example of what I'm talking about. Team Fortress 2 is a video game, and Valve Software decided to have a contest for this video game in which they awarded prizes to the most interesting videos that people could create using in-game footage.
In a land without law, one man will make a stand in the name of justice. And his name is El Chacho. XLR 105 Production presents El Chacho. Coming to a theater near you. Valve time.
Let me show you another example of machinima, this time using PlayStation at Home.
Alors, qui dit études dit travail, qui dit taf te dit les thunes, qui dit argent dit dépenses, qui dit crédit dit créance, qui dit dette te dit huissier, lui dit assis dans la merde, qui dit amour dit les gosses, dit toujours et dit divorce, qui dit proche te dit deuil car les...
Now, let me talk a little bit about stuff we're launching at Google I/O. Now, I know some of you might be watching this after Google I/O, so the good news for you guys is you could just go watch those videos now. But for those of you who are watching this before Google I/O, I'm sorry, you have a few more days to wait. Do you want to hear from and see your site's community? We'll be sharing a new way to solicit videos from your users. Come and learn about how it was developed and see an example of it put to use as part of the YouTube Direct open source video submission platform. The next talk is YouTube API plus cloud rendering equals happy mobile gamers. Many console developers already incorporate video recording and uploading directly into their titles. However, uploading to YouTube from a mobile game presents a unique set of challenges. We'll present a new Google Compute-based architecture to support mobile gameplay video rendering. Come and learn how the YouTube API combined with cloud computing can help enable video uploads in your mobile game. Next, we'll be talking about new YouTube Android Player tools. If you're building an Android smartphone, tablet, or Google TV application, and you'd like to incorporate YouTube video playback into your application, this session will rock your world. Next up, we have a code lab called Master the latest YouTube Data API. The YouTube Data API is changing, and we're ready to give you a preview. We'll show you the backend infrastructure that is used to power the new APIs, and we'll show you the next generation client libraries that you'll be using to build the YouTube applications of tomorrow. If you've made it this far, I'd like to thank you for watching. If you'd like to learn more, go to youtube.com/dev. If you'd like to follow us on Twitter, our Twitter handle is YouTubeDev. Finally, on Google+, my profile is g+.to/Gynix. Thanks a lot.